morning, welcome back. Hope you're well. Weekend at the moment, so Sunday, and the weather is on point. Beautiful day. Weather's been really good the last few days. They are talking shower rain this week, which will be good. A couple of sort of bit Tuesday and then a bit more towards the end of the week. So it'd be really good if we could jag a 10 mil for the week, something like that. So today, a bit of a different one today. I've had a few of you guys ask whether I can sort of give you a bit of a tour of the towns where we live and that service the farm, and you know, where the kids go to school and we do business and that. So today's the day. So I thought, what better day when there's not much happening? So, and we're not going to do it we're not going to jump in the ute and go for a drive. We're going to do it on two wheels. So the all reliable KTM 500 is going to be our chariot today. So yeah, bought this bike back at the start of the year, have done nothing on it. So what better way today is to spend a couple of days on it. That's my older bike, that's my Fink bike. So if you don't, I raced Fink in 22. So if you're not sure what Fink is, when I talk Fink, pretty well renowned desert race. I think if you go and watch, I think it's on Netflix, the There and Back documentary, you'll get a good idea of what it is. Good doco, a lot of fun. Hopefully I can do it again before I get too old. So yeah, that's that bike. So yeah, I suppose this is my spare time. Not that I have a lot of it, hence why I haven't really had a ride on this thing since I've got it. So we'll go and have a good look around. So the plan is I'm going to drop down into the river and we'll head east to Mulwala. We'll have a look around there. We'll have a look at the lake and the weir and that at the river. Then we'll jump over the river onto the Victorian side into Yarrawonga. I'll probably grab some fuel, and then I'm going to follow the river west back to Cobram. So the river will be heading downstream then. We'll stop in at Cobram, probably have to get some fuel again. We'll see how we're going. And then, yeah, I'll see when we're going for time, whether we continue on to Tocumwal or whether we just hop over the river at Barooga and have a look around Barooga and come home. So I've never really been over I've done a bit of the Vic side along the river. So as long as I keep the river on my right-hand side, I'm heading in the right direction, but I will have to probably jump out we're going to try and stay as much on dirt road and in the bush as much as we can, but I will have to probably jump out onto the blacktop a little bit and run down the main road, which I don't like doing. I sort of prefer to stay well away from cars and sealed roads when we can. So anyway, I'll get organised here, chuck a bit more gear on. I've got my boots and my pants on, and then yeah, we'll get cracking. All right, our first stop. I do have the little wireless mic here. I'm not going to take my helmet off because I'll be here all day otherwise. So first stop, the Mighty Murray River. So it's quite low here at the moment. I'll when I get home and edit this, I'll chuck up what it's actually running at the moment. But I will stop at the regulator in at Mulwala and we can have a look there. And there's a power station and their little power station there as well. So we're only about 10 minutes from home here, so we're pretty fortunate. Very fortunate. We probably take it for granted a little bit. We've got 3 pretty good beaches. As you'd imagine, this is a pretty popular spot. We're only 3 hours from Melbourne, so I was actually surprised there's no one down here. I did follow, this is the Middle Beach or what we call the Middle Beach. I did call in it's sort of a bit of a loop. So I did sort of follow ACAR in to the first beach, which is the main beach we sort of go to. Yeah, river is pretty low. Like I reckon at a stab in the dark, we might be sort of 3,000 or 4,000 megs at the moment. You can sort of see, you can probably see there is a bit of a sandbar there. So it is good to see it empty because it's interesting to see it empty, I should say, because there's quite a lot of snags, and yeah, over Christmas, New Year's with the tourists with jet skis and ski boats and that sort of stuff, they probably need to come up and see what it's like when it's not flowing very, very hard as opposed to when it's got plenty of water in it. So this is a national park where we are. So the New South Wales government, I don't know, about 20 years ago in their wisdom decided to make all this national park along here. Yeah, anyway, so that's another debate for another day. So effectively what I'm going to do is I'll cross the river and we'll basically come back along that opposite side. So yeah, hopefully I can, well, as I said, it's a bit foreign to me, that other side, so hopefully I can work out where we are and yeah, I'll pull up and just show you what it looks like from the other side looking across. So anyway, we'll keep cracking. All right, so we're in Mulwala, this driving metropolis. I've still got my helmet on, but I do have the speaker on. So this is the start of the Mulwala Canal. So this is where our irrigation water comes from. Again, I'll have a look and I'll put it up just what's coming out of there. But this is the very beginning. We'll get around and get a bit better look at yeah, where the lake, but the lake's over beyond us there. So yeah, I'll pull up on the lake on the foreshore there and we'll get a good look, and then we'll jump over across the bridge. I don't know, I've got the GoPro there on the front of the bike. It might be a bit rattly, so I'll just see what the footage is like. But yeah, I'll show you the bridge. If anyone that's not familiar with the Yarrawonga Mulwala Bridge, she got a bit of a bow in her, and it was actually built like that. And I think the story goes that once it was built, the bloke that surveyor or designer or engineer jumped off it and killed himself afterwards. So don't quote me on that, but it's a story along those lines. But yeah, it's not just a straight bridge, and it probably should be. So anyway, we'll keep rolling. But yeah, start of our irrigation here. Yeah, so as you can tell, we're only about 20 kilometres to our outlet, so we're effectively at the top of the system, which is, yeah, it's a good spot to be. All right, Lake Mulwala in all its glory. So I think, and again, I'll double check this, but I think it holds around 117,000 megs of water at any one time. It's generally, even with the drought, it stays pretty full. It has a lot to do with the river regulation, the river height. So yeah, like when Hume and Dart get right down, this will still have it'll still be at 95% or something like that. So again, they empty it about every 4 or 5 years, I think. But yeah, it's quite a lot of stumps and dead trees and all that sort of stuff throughout there. So yeah, but you see today it's like glass. It does get quite choppy here. There is quite a big water ski club here. So yeah, it's obviously draws a fair crowd with tourists and that sort of stuff because it's a good spot to ski, and it's always got water in it. So yeah, we'll might jump across the river now. There's what is there? Three pubs in Mulwala. There's a ski club, RSL club, and there's quite a big golf course here too. So there's 30, I think there might be 42 hole golf course here. So two 18s and a 9. So yeah, it's obviously pretty popular with the tourists as well. Again, there's sort of footy club, cricket club, that sort of stuff. There is, I think, one primary school here in town. But we don't do a lot in Mulwala. It's more Yarrawonga over the river. So all right, we'll keep trucking and we'll get over the other side and try and get a bit better look at it. Oh no, pretty magic day. So like any waterside area, you've got $1 million houses everywhere. So some old, some quite new ones. But you can see it's a pretty popular spot. Got a nice foreshore area along here. We'll go around and have a look at the Weir Bridge and we'll have a yarn there and tell you what the go is. So this is the Yarrawonga Mulwala Weir. So they've got a bit of a little power station here. I'm not sure whether it's running. It's not a very big one. I'll check to see what the flow out of here is at the moment. But it's not that long ago. Like through the 21, 22 period, like they had most of the gates open here just purely because of the rainfall we had. But so also we come over this side. You can walk across the bridge. So this bridge was closed in, I think, 2020, they closed it. So we used to come across this bridge with the trucks. There's a single lane. Had traffic lights at both ends, just a bit safer than the other bridge. You're not going to be able to see it real well from here, but we'll get up here a bit and have a look. Just got no key on my motorbike, so I don't want to get too far from it in case someone pinches it. Got my helmet with me anyway. They closed this bridge, so there's now only one bridge across the river here. So you can see down in here the big gates. So the train line's still in use, mainly just for grain. It's just there, but you sort of don't really get a real good view of the bridge and the bend in it, but you can see the dip in it. The Monty Murray River. So you can see why this place is pretty busy over the summer and school holidays months. So as far as industry, I'm just going to walk into where the noise is. As far as industry here, obviously agriculture is a big one. There is a munitions factory in Mulwala and has been for forever. So they call it ADI, but I think it's actually run by Tallis now. Make gunpowder and that sort of stuff. So it's a major employer for both the towns. And then obviously tourism. I think there's 3 or 4. I think I said there was 3 pubs in Mulwala. There's only 2, but I think there's 3 in Yarrawonga. A couple of restaurants. But you're literally, Yarrawonga's here, Mulwala's there. So you're only kilometre between the two, really. So, Well, hell, you probably can't see that, but anyway. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see them all open, when they're letting out 40, 50,000 megs a day out of here. She's fairly roaring. And there is actually another, when it's really wet, they can actually open more out into the other side and it floods out into the forest and round. But pretty popular fishing spot here. A lot of meat are cod in this lake, so there's a big fishing comp here in November. It's called the Cod Classic. It's basically, December basically marks the start of cod opening. So yeah, if you're a fisherman like my whalers and the surrounding river, both upstream and downstream, pretty good spots to go. So yeah, so we used to bring our grain, the bulk of our grain into Yarrawonga, but with them closing this bridge, it's just too dangerous to cross the, well, I think it is to cross the main bridge with the trucks. So you've got to sort of pull up, and the bridge isn't really wide enough for 2 trucks, so you've got to talk on the UHF to oncoming trucks, and yeah, it's a bit of a rock show. So we just decided it's best not to do it. So so what I might do now is I might just grab some fuel. I probably should grab something to eat because it'll be lunchtime, and we might duck to Cobram. We can have a look over there. That's probably more our stomping ground rather than over here, but yeah, plenty of places to stay here, caravan parks, and yeah, look, if you're within 3 or 4 hours, it is a good spot. I probably shouldn't be telling you this because it is such a good spot, but if you're looking for somewhere holiday, we do have a Seabull here. There was a Seabull built here probably 5 years ago, and there's another golf course now on the Victorian side, so it's out the road from here. So yeah, but there's been, you know, a bit like everywhere, a lot of houses gone up, and yeah, but we are pretty fortunate. It is a pretty good part of the world, which is nice. So anyway, enough of my waffle. We'll go and fuel up and get going. Alright, so we've done about 70 k's and we're on the opposite side of the river to where we pulled up. So you can see there, just out in the middle, sort of there, that's where the sandbar was. Yeah, when we pulled up on the other side to start with. So pretty good. I've never actually ridden this, and it's a lot of fun actually. It's you sort of single trail between. Not that unless you're a motorbike rider, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about, but sort of single trail between the main tracks. So it just keeps looping in and out, and you're hopping from sort of trail to trail. So this side of the river is actually state park, believe it or not, on the Victorian side, not national park. So you can have a fire on the Victorian side all year round, whereas New South side, if you're camping, you've got to adhere to fire restrictions. So but yeah, it's I can't get over how good the weather is anyway. I'm starting to get a bit of a lather up under my jacket, but we'll keep marching along. I'm not too sure. I better just check what time it is. I can I've got plenty of time, but yeah, if we're starting to cut short on time, I can just hop back out into the river, back out onto the main road, and but I'll try to stay off that as much as I can. So, but yeah, a lot of fun. And yeah, if you're looking for somewhere to camp, if you're both the Vic and New South side between Cobram and Yarrawonga or Barooga and Mulwala, pretty good spots. Quick update, I'm running into dead ends, so I'm actually not that far from Cobram. So what I'm going to do is probably just hop out. I could keep going along here. I could hop through there, I'm not supposed to, but I'll run into private property. It's private property that sits right on the river, so I'm not going to be able to get through there anyway. So I'm actually just over the rise there. We're running along the back of, again, private property. So yeah, we might just follow that road out. We'll jump out onto the bitumen and we'll head down a bit further and then drop back in again. And then yeah, next stop Cobram. Hello, we've made it to Cobram. So it's a town, and I'll just check, but it's a population about 5,000. So we do most of our stuff here, like our kids. Girls come to school this way, so you've got Cobram and Barooga, so I'll jump over to Barooga and pull up there, and we might go and have a look at the rec reserve where we where the footy club I'm tied up with plays. It seems to be very busy, this road today. So backstory at Cobram, big Italian community in its day, so a lot of orchards, stone fruit, that sort of stuff, and obviously the dairy industry. Now the dairy industry in its day was pretty big here, and it's now a shadow of its former self, sadly. So we do have what was the Murray Goulburn milk factory here. It's now Saputo. It's the CEO of it nearly sent it to the wall, and Saputo, who's a Canadian company, came in and bought it. Obviously, but what used to be a co-op, so it was grower owned. So anyway, there's not the milk here in the area now to keep this factory going, so they're bringing, as far as I know, they're bringing milk in from other places, Gippsland and that sort of thing. So cheese factory, so yeah, they don't actually do fresh milk as such here. It's all sort of bulk cheese. So I have done back in the early 2000s, did a couple of years there, contract welding for a company back during what they call the Millennium Drought. So have spent a bit of time in that factory. But across the road, in this little shed here, and I'll walk around the front of it, it has had a bit of a birthday since I was worked here. So this is the little shed I did my apprenticeship in, and it looks like a hot box in summer. Well, it was a hot box in summer. It sort of goes down to where the green was, green shed is. So swelter in summer and you freeze your ass off in winter. So anyway, but really good place to do my trade. We did everything back in the day where you fixed everything. Really good spot. Learned a lot. So we might go down. Got them small engines. We use those guys. Got Mitre 10 across the road. We use them. We'll duck down. There's been a big shopping centre built not that long ago, so we'll duck down and have a look at it. I might do a drive by the main street. Seriously? Do a drive by the main street and then we'll duck across to Barooga. Alright, so we've just had a Coles complex built and a few other shops I think it's been open 6 months or since the end of last year. So we've got our AGCO dealer across the road there, and then Cobram Bolt Supply. So this is where we get all our bearings and bolts, and do a lot of business through here on the repair side of things, welding stuff and welding gases and that sort of thing. So quite a good business, family owned, has been for 30 years probably now. But we've got there's 3 supermarkets in town now, so obviously Coles, Woolies and an IGA. So not sure the town's big enough to support 3 supermarkets, so it'll be interesting to see. IGA will probably be the one that is going to do it tough, but anyway, we'll see how we go. Major services here. You've got KFC and Macca's and Subway now. I'm not sure we need all of the 3 of them, but we do. And panel works and sign writers and anything you can sort of think of. So pretty good hub. Like there's not much here we can't get. And as I said, you could be at Melbourne Airport in 2.5 hours from here. So Shepparton's our next biggest town to the south. From here, we don't go there a hell of a lot. Being sort of more east, we tend to sort of go to Albury if we need to go somewhere. So anyway, the sights of Cobram. All right, the hallowed turf of the Barooga Recreation Reserve. So one thing we do have in our little town is very good sports facilities. So we've got the sports club up on the hill there. We've got an 36 hole golf course next door. There's a pretty good little sports precinct here. So we've got 2 full-size ovals. The lights you can see there, they were put up probably 5 years ago now. And all the 4 towns in the Berrigan Shire all got the Shire put in and got a grant from New South Wales government to upgrade the lights on all the ground. So all the 4 recreation reserves in the Shire have these same lights. So yeah, it's amazing to see it all lit up. What else can I tell you? So there's 5 user groups here in this recreation reserve. So obviously a football and netball club. Netball courts are over there behind the pavilion. Then we've got the cricket club, then we've got little athletics, and then equestrian and tennis club. So there's a bit happening in this little area. Turf wickets for the cricket club. When the sports club actually maintain the playing services and the surrounds, which we're very fortunate that they do that. So yeah, when come summertime, this is like a bowling green. I was lucky to play footy so I've played all my junior footy and 90% of my senior footy here, and obviously I'm treasurer of the footy club here now. But yeah, back in 06, I think, 05, was lucky enough to play on the MCG. We played a local derby. I don't know how they swung it. Cobram played Barooga. And the playing surface was actually better here than what it was at the MCG at the time. So, yeah, doesn't like getting too wet, this ground. But, yeah, so we've got gymnasium. You can't actually see it. Gymnasium up on the hill there with a 25 metre indoor swimming pool. Yeah, we are spoilt here with our the facilities we've got. We really are. So you'd struggle to find better facilities in the one spot, you know, coming out of Melbourne. So yeah. Anyway, what else can I tell you about our little town? There's a public school here, a couple of coffee shops, little IGA. Actually just called into the server. I haven't had lunch and it's about 4:30, and I was hoping there might have been something in the Bain Marie for lunch, but it was a orange juice and a Kit Kat for lunch, so that hasn't inspired me all that much. So yeah, town, like all towns, it's slowly growing. Yeah, people are cottoning on. There's a pretty good place to live. So yeah, but no, main industry here again is agriculture, and then a bit like Yarrawonga, the sort of tourism's with the river, we get a lot of campers and that here as well. So there is also at Abattoirs in Cobram, JBS Abattoirs. It reopened again, I think 3 years ago. It was privately owned many years ago and was sort of another major employer of the town, and then it closed down, and JBS bought it, and it's been they ran it and then closed it for a period of time, and then they opened it again about three years ago, I think now. So yeah, anyway, we might head for home. I think I've take a back road, and we'll yeah, we're only sort of 16 k's to home from here, so it's yeah, not a bad little trip. Back at home base, got a bit of mud on it, so, but yeah, did nearly bang on 150 kilometres for the loop. So yeah, no, it's good. I've been wanting to do that for quite some time. So yeah, it was good to get it done, and yeah, it won't be the last time, no doubt. But yeah, and the weather's was spot on for it too, which was nice. Yeah, no dust and that, which is good. Some of the tracks, some of the fool drivers get in there and make a bloody mess, which doesn't help. But anyway, they seem to want to do that. So yeah, it's a bit of a quick sort of snapshot of the towns that sort of service the farm. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it and come for a holiday. It's plenty of accommodation. Yeah, it's a pretty good place to be. We're pretty fortunate here that we live where we live. So anyway, back to the grind tomorrow. Not too sure which direction we're heading in yet. Tony will get that young ute loose and sprayed. He came out, I didn't actually see him, but he came out today and decontaminated the boom spray. So he'll get that done. And we've got a bit of fallow spraying here for where we're going to sow the lucerne. So that's another job. The late oats that we sowed, they need a broadleaf spray, so I need to get Matt to come out and have a look at them. I'm going to just try and do those ripper points in the morning. A couple of hours will get them knocked out, hopefully. Yesterday afternoon, I did wire that valve up, but I actually grabbed power rather than going to the battery. I grabbed power out of one of the sockets on the tractor. I found some plugs that had power in them that were just blade fittings, so I've put them in there, and then in my wisdom down the back I've actually crossed the bloody wires and blown the fuse, so I'll have to jump on the internet and find out I don't know where the fuse panel is. We don't have one of you legends did actually send me the operator's manual for it, so I'll jump on the internet tonight and have a look and find out where the fuse panel is and replace the fuse. But that valve lifted the horizontal tilt, lateral tilt. I was able to level the bucket up anyway, so we just need to be able to flick it the other way to lift the pull up. And I think what I will do is I'll still make a spacer up for that that cushion hitch, and then when we're final grading, we can just let it down and sit it on that, and the bucket won't. It won't creep or anything like that. So I just need to make that. It's not important straight away, but yeah, we need to make that up to lock that out. So get that done, and then yeah, hopefully the tractor and baler are ready. I might be able to get a lift back into town with Tony tomorrow night and bring it home, and then we can get the air cart back going. I've got that tyre here, I can chuck it back on the air cart. So plenty of bits and pieces going on. Just want to try and tick a few of these half finished jobs off before we sort of go head first into anything else. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Nice day for it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Bye bye.